ọmọ alárẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe nìyàn. Ìjẹ̀bú ọmọ alárẹ̀ wọ́n dára. Ìjẹ̀bú ọmọ alárẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe nìyàn. Don't silence from maybe in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria so are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Thank you very much. That's the first answer. Thank you very much. Once again, it's my pleasure to welcome all of us. And may I first invite this great students and Kábíyèsí àwọn òfin òdáyé Ufẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀bú-Ode Ijebu-Ode. May I invite Kábíyèsí Ọba Afọlọ́runṣọ́ Odutola the Ajaloro of Ijebu-Ife. Ẹ bá mi sọ pé Kábíyèsí is going to give us a lecture at this ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Baba. Bankole Professor Bankole, the man who moved the motion, who raised the issue of establishing Ogun State University, which today is the Olamisi Omobanjo University. Please give him a round of applause. When God created the world, He saw that it was beautiful and created our father Adam and realized that He just wanted the woman to support her, the better half. And so when we have these great sons of Ijebu-Land, there's a need to balance the equation as God did at the beginning of creation. And it's my pleasure to invite Mrs. Adeni Ajobo, the MD Adron Homes. We only Adron Homes, Adron Homes. If you don't have a home, just come to us. We'll give you one. You don't have to pay. What's your Ajalon? You are not going to pay. What's your OGBENI? You are not going to pay. Mrs. Ajobo will give us a free house. Please give her a round of applause as she joins us on the high. Everybody is honoring KUKU. We put us in local states, and you know this Baba, this young owners of Abuja, is a member of the Mabu-Woku age. You know Mabu-Woku, that's the age of Abuja. And there are not many of them who are still alive. We will thank God, Baba is still alive, all 93. And it was established by GBC of Odutola. Today, somebody is also the protester. There's so much to the education of children in Ijebu-Land, especially the Muslim children. And Baba, with so many children, almost 90% of Baba's children became graduates. Today, one of them, if you have one of them here, another is the group managing director of Odutola companies, another is also a renowned
of Ijebu-Land. Baba, the Odutola, Dr. SONNY KUKU, you are most welcome. Please permit me to just say a word about Baba. I must say this is really a gift. It's a gift to Ijebu-Land and Nigeria in general. But one thing that is most striking about him is that he's somebody that loves the younger generation. I must say, if not for God and someone might not be seated here. And by extension, let me quickly thank Mama, Professor, Mrs. Adenike Oshoba. It's not here now, it's not in the country right now, but it's with us in the spirit. She has done what Napoleon could not do. She has been burning midnight oil to get this book out. Mama, I want to say a big thank you, Mama. Let me mention one person before I quickly go to my speech because our time is fast spent. Let me single out one person here. And that person is Otumba Rufus Odutola, the Baba of St. Paul's Anglican Church in Ijebu-Ode. Baba kindly stand for recognition. Jesus, if not for God and the lives of Baba, this program may not hold. Because we got to a critical stage that it takes God to lift a man. Baba, God has used you to lift me with glory. Thank you very much. Now, quickly to the issue at hand. We are launching a book titled Great Nigerians from the Old Ijebu Province. This is a book that started in 2014, exactly 11 years ago. And please, you will do something for me with all due humility. I humbly wish we have a minute's silence for the 3 people that were so enthusiastic, they were so passionate about this book, but unfortunately, they cannot see the publication. They have been taken home. The 3 people are the late Major General T.P. Odutola. In fact, he was the one that wrote the first forward. He now linked me to Dr. Omolayomi and others. The second person is late Odutola Odutola, and the third person was late Odutola Alabi Rojaye. Please kindly spare a minute in silence for the souls, for the people of their soul. So quickly, because our time is fast spent. Obviously, Alailoa, the Olowo of Ijebu, Oba Engineer Emo Additional, that is just coming in, I recognize you, sir. You also have encouraged me tremendously. I say thank you, sir. If we should go on and on to appreciate those who have contributed to the success of today, we might not live here. But let me quickly state the purpose of this book. The book is serving a multiple purpose, but there's a coincidence in the sense that it's coming out at the time we are building momentum for the creation of a new stage. So the book is coming out at this point in time, and if you look at the caliber of people being celebrated here, you will agree with me that Ijebu-Land will know that if the caliber of these people have come from this region, coupled with the fact that we have resources, human resources to justify the to justify the state creation, then there's need for the authorities in charge to give us a new state. I will not be categorically about Ijebu, but all I know is that the state should be created out of the old Ijebu province. Praise the Lord. So, without wasting much time, let me quickly round up because initially I had a lot to say, but because we started very late because of the challenges we had. Let me just round up by saying the reason why we chose this day, May 27. You will observe that we have some children around, from school children. It's because we cherish the younger generation. Because there are three categories of people in this world. Those who are well ahead of us. So we have seen their achievements. We have known what they want to achieve in life. So the second category is our contemporaries. So there is nothing much to celebrate because what we are going to achieve in life is what we are doing to get, we are going to embarking upon now. But those that are coming behind, those are the people we must respect most because you don't know what they will become in future. So if you do well for them, it will linger. And if you do bad to them, it will also linger. So it is on that note I want to make a short poem for our children. And the poem centers on the need for you to be very creative, because it was creativity that brought about this. It was research and creativity, and it was born out of vision, a long-term vision. So let me quickly share this before I hand over the mic. And it has to do with the development of our mind. And the poem is only shared by our late mentor, Chief Wole. And it goes like this. The inward moves the outward. The power of the people lies in their mind. And this mind, if fortified and enlarged, it will bring the new world corresponding to itself. If, however, I err in this belief, if by securing time and multitude of improvements, industry and capital should become less productive, I still say sacrifice the words and not the mind of the people. So the mind is degraded. So I do not I cherish human capital and the human mind, because a person that is rich today can become, that is poor today can become rich tomorrow if he has a well-developed mind. Thank you very much.
One thing is let's put our hands together for Wole. There's not easy putting things together. We must understand that the people that do not put their history in perspective will become extinct. We have lost it as a nation at some point. At some point, Olorogun, OGBENI, what we had was Ijebu-Ode, Morasi, Ijebu-Land. How I wonder what moral lesson we are into to believe that made us to get to see Ijebu-Ode. And that is one of our problems as a country. And so if we do not put our history together, the young ones there do not know that it was Baba Odutola who started what became the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. The world do not know today that none of the Ashiru brothers are the foremost in developing test babies and giving some to women who were not able to conceive. The world will not know that if you do not
marking the front, remarkable outcome that celebrates the lives and achievements of 150 great icons who have contributed immensely to nation building locally, nationally, and globally, using set and stringent criteria. The book is a testament to the rich heritage and contributions of the Ijebu people to our collective history. It showcases the resilience, determination, and excellence that have defined our community. As we gather to watch this biography, we honor the legacies of those remarkable individuals who have shaped our world. Their stories serve as inspiration to us all, reminding us of the power of hard work, innovation, and community. I commend the author, particularly Mr. Wole who has brought both the midnight candle and the daylight candle and all the candles we can think of. At this point, I must say that I have not seen so much tenacity and the intention to deliver. And he is not just a body also. I think with time, he's going to be one of the greatest writers of Nigeria. Very well done. And that was what even encouraged some of us to really push him to see what he can achieve. This book has been in publication, in the process of publication for years. But it never gave up. And was very, very well done. When we see the book, we will see that it's really the first class biography, and everybody should buy it as a source of information. That's the encyclopedia of one set of Ijebus who have done well for themselves and for the nation. I also commend the researchers and all those involved in bringing this project to life. The Ashiru brothers, I think, family has taken him on as their adopted member of the family. And Professor Ashiru in particular has been a source of encouragement to me. We should celebrate the triumphs and lessons from these 150 great Ijebus. May their stories motivate future generations to strive for greatness. With great pleasure, I declare the biography of these 150 great Ijebus for Punching, ready for Punching. Let us cherish this treasure and share their stories with the world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and I wish us a very good future. Thank you.
I say good morning to all of you. Now, I feel, well, thankful for those who decided to make me the lecturer for today. Well, I'm used to lecturing. I've done it multiple times with that number, both at the university in Nigeria, the Polytechnic, and other universities overseas. But this one is special. It's special because the author of this event, Wole Johnson. He's my young boy. I call him my young boy because he's very familiar with me. But I appreciate his tenacity. I appreciate his not being stubborn, but he has the ambition to achieve things for himself. And he knows where to go. He has done this. He's been working on this for years. I can't remember whether 3 or 4 or 5. Each time he's been going to fail. The moment he mentioned OGBENI to me, I said, well, go ahead. I'm sure that as time goes on, you'll get what you want. And I congratulate him today for what he has done.
Thank you, sir.
And I hope he will do more. Now, I started to write what I'm going to say today. At some point, I decided to abandon it. I thought I should come at tempo because of all that have been happening. And now it is happening now. Now, we listed people, about 100 people, who have done so much for Ijebu, or for our fatherland, over time, and repeated between 1960 and 2025. That's a 65-year period. Then my question is, don't we have people who have been doing this, trying to do what is right for us to develop, to do, to make us proud in the world, to identify our culture, to identify our language, to identify our custom, our shower. It's very important everywhere. When you go to France, or you go to Britain, or you go to the United States, everywhere you go, people look at you, black man. Very different. They don't know much old folks. They don't know much about Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Gambia. They're divided among themselves. French, West Africa, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Togo, and all those things. So, but we just think that white people, we accepted there's superior to us. We accepted in attitude, in our speech, in our thoughts, in our mind, that they are superior men. They can come here, those who rule Nigeria from 1861 till 1914, as I'm saying, were less than 200. And our population all over the country then was about 25 million. By 1914, we have all the people here. Every white man who was called a resident was attached to a major order. When I say major order, when you talk about Ijebu province, the Ojale had a resident. The resident attached to him would advise him on what to do with his people, and what to say and how to say it. Each time there is a change on the throne, the resident would need to approve it. What can be done? Those who don't know what we do here, they were telling us, they were approving what we are doing. That was how bad it was. If you have a tree of pawpaw behind your household or behind your yard, and the land there is good enough to produce good pawpaw, you yourself, you describe it as pawpaw or Igbo. If your hen, your chicken, produces big heads, very looking evil, anything that is good, we are trying to do. Everything that is bad, we are trying to accept. Why? We've been reduced to that mental condition. And that is not good for us. Now we're walking up and we think this is what we do. Now when we talk of independence, talk of political independence. Because political independence is different from others. Economy, you can't talk of economic independence. You negotiate, you do a lot of things. They were. But I want to remind you that when independence was going to come to us, we didn't know. One devil in Germany called Adolf Hitler caused the problem. Adolf Hitler had the ambition to rule the world. He had an alliance with Italy and Japan. The three of them will come together and rule the rest of the world. Adolf Hitler had entered Germany, had entered France, and taken over the French government. The government ran away. The government ran away, came to us and following the orders and the attack of Adolf Hitler. Not knowing that what was going on was going to touch us here, but in a different way. We see Turkey, the former prime minister of England at that time. Germany did not know how to attack it. Attacking from the air, he shot down. From the sea, you can't penetrate. So England retained his power to an extent. And said, well, can I seek help? I better go to the United States. Go to the United States and tell them, look, if you allow this man to defeat all of us in Europe, he's coming up to me. By that time, you may not be able to contain all the designs. So, he was able to convince the president of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He said, well, let me tell the people 4 years. 36 is so brilliant. Won it again, 36. Hitler started his problem in 39. He told the people he was about to leave office. The people said, no, don't leave. You've been a good man. The economy has come back, the economy is doing well, and therefore don't go. Go for a third term for the first time. You went for the third term. Won the election in 39-40. Good candidate to 44. Then he joined with the church. And the two of them started to plan how to face or attack Hitler and defeat him. Okay. At that point, Hitler thought he would have to face the two of them. He did. How would the United States enter Europe? It was important that the United States should enter Europe and assist Britain to attack. Went to France. I said, let me tell you, we should learn from all these events. In France, for the United States to enter France, it was the Normandy attack. The United States was going to enter France of the Normandy. So Eisenhower, who was the commander of the American army, said, okay, let us do the Black Army first. Let them go and attack Hitler. Go and face it. Believing that Hitler would just rout them. The Black Army came and faced Hitler and routed Hitler's army. in Normandy. Eisenhower was amazed. Black people can do this. True or false? True. It was true. Then the White Army entered France from Normandy. And that's what happened. And that's how the United States, and that was how the United States was able to enter France. Work with the United States and Britain hand in hand to Hitler was the enemy to everybody. So while Hitler was enemy to everybody, then this is how our independence came. By 1941, Britain and the United States began to think that all communities, all national communities everywhere, all national communities everywhere should be allowed to rule themselves. Because all these national communities, they don't rule themselves. In Nigeria, Britain was ruling us. In Gold Coast, Britain was there. In Togo, France was there. In Kenya, Britain was there. All over Africa, it's either Britain or France or the Portuguese. So they thought, like Nigeria, we should be allowed to do ourselves. The first country to indicate that they will take advantage of the charter, that charter was called Atlantic Charter of 1941, signed between Britain and the United States. That was the major document that we needed to begin to fight back, begin to think that we can do better. We can do like the white people, or do better than them. And we did. At that point, the charter specified that all people all over the world, especially in Africa, who don't rule themselves should be encouraged to rule themselves. Okay. So Nigerians, we have allowed to rule ourselves. Gold Coast, natives of Gold Coast should be allowed to rule themselves. People of Togo should be allowed to rule themselves. So Britain and the United States signed the Atlantic Charter. But Britain said, look, we see Churchill. The British Empire wouldn't fall on his head. He would sign the charter, but would not allow the empire to fall on his head. Oh. What does that mean? He wasn't really agreeing. He agreed after and that's what happened. Agreed after but the fight continued. And they continued to push the Hitler's army back until we entered Germany. And people who are supposed to do themselves now, the first country to claim independence was India, 1947. And India said, look, we are going to claim independence. We are tired of being part of this empire. As soon as that happened, the other side of India also claimed independence. Now, why they claimed independence at that time? The thing was done very quickly, and Pandit Nehru became the prime minister. He just left Oxford with the first degree, and he said it was time for him to go home. So he went straight to India and told these people, now we're independent, formed a political party, and he became the prime minister. But I want to say this from my reading. When he became the prime minister in India, he was riding a scooter, yes, that people ride for here. And the people said, no, we like you, don't ride scooter, go and buy a car. He was the son of a rich person. He could buy this defense. He could buy another car. He said, no, he went to buy Volkswagen. Bought the Volkswagen, and he was driving it himself. Though he was prime minister, the legislature was going on. But I want to tell you today, the leaders of India, the political leaders of India, they've done so much for their people, even they have a very terribly high population. The military has never taken over power there. There is no corruption there. I mean, they don't have to pass the bill and call it EFCC. Economic and Financial Commission. They don't have to do that. Up to today, the military has not taken over, has not ruled one day in India. So that has been their life. And they are doing well. Now with us here, the moment we got independent in 1960, of course it was managed by the British. Managed by the British because Ghana, Gold Coast that became Ghana, took half of Togo. I mean, the western part of Togo went to Ghana because Nkrumah told them, if you don't come along with us, it will take years before you become independent. Why vote yes now for independence along with Gold Coast people? And they did. So the Togolese today, if you go to Togo today, Togo, the national Togo, is divided into two. The western part of Togo has become part of Ghana. And that's what they are. But they are enjoying the freedom, even though there have been, problems of military taking over and all corruption and all that and everything. But today they are doing far better. So in our own situation, what can we do? We went there, we took over, it was announced, the British government said, the Southerners, people in the South, in Nigeria, yes, they are, I call them active, positive politicians. They are very active, they understand the language, many of them have been to Europe, many have been to England to study law, to study medicine, to study other, in other areas of specialty, and they can do it. Is it enough? No. This is where our father, Chief of African Law, came in. By 1949, 51, the action group was established. And being a man who had prepared himself to lead the people, lead them in the right way, tell them what to do, and make sure that everything is speeded up. He took clothes, all kinds of clothes, khaki, brown khaki, blue khaki, all kinds of clothes, to enough to non-Hausa Fulani areas who are walking naked, and it was distributed everywhere. But what was the result? The white people who are there encouraged Northerners to refuse, reject all these offers. And that's what happened. People who have been naked, walking naked since they were born. And for 10 years, 15 years, 30 years. Some of them are married, they walk naked. Some of them are even coming to the south during Hamilton period. They were using all kinds of leather support as panty. So that's what happened. So what I want to say is that all the independence that we got, our people in the south have done so much. The Ijebus especially have done so much. When we mentioned Ijebu, I mentioned Kolo first because of his political role. He was Igbo, but Yoruba people are very accommodating. So when the election was held, the first time and he won, the SNC won against that group. When the SNC won, the SNC won. The SNC won, who took the leader of government, or then President, then the Yorubas didn't have our own. So if this happened here, they were in alliance. Yes. This happened here, the people who turn around later, so they don't give us all these ministries. And then we work with you. So you can become premier and that's what happens. And since then, this has to be what was the leader of us to the east. And exactly what happened here to him also happened to somebody else.
And we will call the honorees, those of them who are here, and say something about them. The first person I'm going to call is Kabesi Alayoluwa, Omaniki Laya Sao, Omanu Sakara Karalaka, Omayibo, Nikia, Opetia, Tipu Page, Omota, Bebe, Julie, Maman, Omanu Toyibo, the Omalara Bada. Ọmọ alóyin tó yìnbó òdìdé òyìnbó olóòṣà ọmọ ògbọ́gbọ́ gbà ẹ̀. Ẹ bá mi sọ pé kábíyèsí àgbẹ̀lúwà fún kábíyèsí kíkú dákú máa tètè pa ó káwọn dákú kó máa ṣe kí á dákú kó máa jẹ oṣù dákú kó máa ta ó Awùjalẹ̀ ọba rẹ̀. An important kábíyèsí. I'm going to ask the OGBENI, sir, those in representing Kabesi, so please stand it up, sir. As I read, say a little bit about Kabesi. Kabesi, the Awùjalẹ̀ Ijebu-Land is a grand commander of Order of Nigeria, the national award given to him last year by the President Wole who recalled that Kabesi stood firmly with the people against the military junta in 1993 saga. Kabesi is the founder of the Institute of Governance of the Odutola University, a project initiated born out of their strength in government. And today, Kabesi is the #1 citizen who's been on the throne for 65 years, the longest reigning monarch in Africa. Thank you, sir. OGBENI, sir. I'm going to invite my beautiful sister, Mary KUKU. KUKU, instead of KUKU. She will call each of the honorees. It's just 3-4 times, so that they will recognize. And because of, I don't want to bother the dog, but capacity goes on. But to back to that, remember to capacity go. God is merciful to you. All of those things you ask, you know well. So I'm not saying here, all of that is good. Let me quickly recognize some principals who are here. Mrs. Ijebu-Ode, please, principal at the College, Senior School is there. Please give her a round of applause. Yes, the students of Lady are here. You didn't bring your students to wake up or whatever.
It was not stated.
Okay. Adeola, sorry, a lady of the apostle with their teachers, please, let's be middle. Funded by that great man, that great Ijebu son, Baba Timothy Adeola Odutola. Please give them a round of applause. I hope I've not left out any school. Remo Muslim College, are you here? Remo Muslim College. Oh, Shagamu. Is it Shagamu or Remo? Baba Kubo Edo will tell us whether the Remos are Ijebus or not. You know, you have latter day assembly in the church. So you have latter day historians. But what I grew up knowing is that Ijebu Remo. When they do not so get Remo, you have to Ijebu. So Mama around Baba Kubo Edo SRM before Ijebu, Remo, they did Mukonera.
Information here.
Information.
Yes, sir. Many others.
Yes. Obanta, who came to Ijebu-Ode. Yes.
Sir.
Yes, Obanta.
Yes.
Arrived in Ijebu-Ode. Okay, Remo. That's the younger brother of Obanta. Same mother, same father. If you don't know, I'm telling you, that's what it is. And that's it. If you want to find out, you're going to find yourself. Thank you.
Alright. The current Ogbeni of Ijebu-Land. He is the co-founder of the prestigious Eco Hospital Hub, Lagos. A very brilliant student in school. He won the best entrance performance and scholarship, King's College, Lagos, in 1957, and College of Medicine, UNILAG, 1964. A well-trained medical practitioner, home and abroad. He has been the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman, Government Council of many universities in Nigeria, and Fellow of many international organizations. Very humble and generous to a fault.
A trained accountant of the Leeds College of Commerce Great Britain, a chartered accountant of repute, is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and a fellow of the Association of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. He was the national president, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. If you see Owobi Petrol Station, you are seeing Ajialoro. Let's give him a round of applause.
He made grade 1 at the Cambridge School certificate. A professional, well-trained at home and abroad. He was a provincial engineer in Ijebu in the early/middle 60s. He is a fellow of many professional bodies, and he holds the National Award of SONNY. Please let's put our hands together for them. Represented by his wife and children. Alright. A journalist par excellence and consummate federalist. He was the first secretary and head of Nigeria Information Service to the United States of America between 1967 to 1969. He was a special advisor to President Shagari on information matters, during which he was the leader of the Nigerian government delegations to several international fora. He was the sole administrator and later chairman, board of directors of NCA and FRCN. Please let's put our hands together for him. He was called to the English bar in 1963. He rose through the civil service ladder and became the permanent secretary of state public service between 1976 to 1983. Even in his 90s, he is in full private legal practice and community service. He is the chairman of the State Governors Advisory Forum. Please let's put our hands together.
Let me know that if you don't know what I can stands for.
Attended the Harvard University Graduate School of Business Administration, Boston, Massachusetts, USA. He was the Honorable Minister of State for Finance in Nigeria between 1999 to 2003, and Minister of Commerce and Industry between 2010 to 11. He was the Musulumi of Ogun State. Please let's put our hands together for Ogun State.
University. He is Otuba. Let's give him a round of applause.
In Nigeria and indeed West Africa. He understands about 8 international languages. Please let's put our hands together for him. 5 to 7 million trees to promote afforestation in Nigeria and fight global warming. Please let's put our hands together for him. Under his leadership, the NCRP Act came to life as signed by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. A great philanthropist, he is the founder of Prince Felisayo Soyewo Foundation. Please let's put our hands together for him. Ashiru has won many laurels for professional excellence in his career. Please let's put our hands together for him. Having built over 24 estates within 6 years. Please let's put our hands together for him. Please pardon me. As part of his contribution to community development, he is the author's father. Please let's put our hands together for him.
Ghana, in all these countries, served, rejected Nigeria nationally, brilliantly, depth,
Thanks.
ambassador, member of the family. Please give him a round of applause.
Mrs. Adenike Ajomo is the MD of Adjon Homes, but she's standing in for our boss, the founder of Adjon Homes, Mr. Emmanuel King Adetola Emmanuel.
To this special occasion, and I want to say a big welcome on behalf of Dr. Odutola Emmanuel King, the Chairman, CEO of Art Group of Companies, especially to our OGBENI. Thank you so much for giving us this. To all our participants, we're saying a very big thank you and you're welcome. To our KBCs present here today, KBCU, and I'll be using our own daddy, the Awujale of Ijebu-Land, Oba Dr. Sikiru Adetola, the Ogbaga, second, the Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebu-Land. In absentia, KBCU, as a point of contact to all the KBC in Ijebu-Land and environment, KBC and action money to everybody. To my other esteemed dignitaries, using as point of contact my esteemed former Chairman Otuba Ashiru Bimbo, let's celebrate him. Thank you so much. I think I saw Professor Ashiru a few minutes ago. Thank you. of this great book, the person of the Mr. Wole. Can I have a copy of the book, please? Mr. Wole Johnson. Mr. Wole Johnson, who actually noted to this event today, upon whom I am representing. Honestly, he would have loved to be here personally today, because he has actually planned for this. This book, Great Nigerians from the old Ijebu province, Volume 1, 1960 to 2025, was actually cooked and packaged alongside with him by Mr. Wole, the author, and he has actually prepared for it. He is currently attending to a critical meeting, a board meeting far away in Abuja. He actually left this morning, and he sent his sincere apology, sir, and to the cabinets and everybody here today for his unavoidably absenteeism. But he sent his words, which was actually published here, but I have a single honor of reading the phrase out to us. And I read, my dear Wole, I wish to commend your dedication to this book project and the efforts you have invested in bringing it to life. It is always inspiring to see initiatives that contribute to education and societal development. While the vision behind this project is highly commendable, I believe my full support will be most impactful once the book has been officially launched. And to the glory of God, this we are doing today. Let's celebrate this moment. I thought, a round of applause, please. Sir, it is not easy. Why the vision behind this project is highly commendable? At that stage, we can explore meaningful ways to amplify its reach and ensure it achieves its intended impact. My dear Wole, please keep us updated on your progress, which you have been doing, as I look forward to celebrating this milestone with you on your special day. Wishing you, on behalf of my family and the entire staff of Aaron Homestead Properties, great success as you finalize this important project. And on this note, while we are returning the glory of this book to the God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. He has taught me and even commanded me to pick 25 copies of this book captioned Great Nigerians from the Old Ijebu Province, Volume 1, 1960 to 25, at a whopping sum of a maximum of 8 figures of Nigerian naira and a minimum of 7 figures. And you know what that means. Yes, you know what that means. Minimum 7 figures, maximum of 8 figures. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Which, honestly, congratulations. Congratulations. 11 years. Let's celebrate this gentleman. Let's celebrate him. Yes, and God be the glory that this day has eventually come. So the figure of the check will become, we get to you on or before the end of this week by the grace of God. Immediately he comes back from his trip. We celebrate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, man, for listening. God bless us all.
And the beginning of 8 figures is 10 million naira. So, what we have been told is that I know she will not give me more now. She will not give me more. You don't go do me more. So, with that, please give our Chief Odutola a round of applause. And the managing director came to represent her, delivering the message. Give her another round of applause. But you are not done your thoughts. So, I was talking to OGBENI. I think he has a call. You know, the passion that interest that I elicited while the program was going on, I cannot afford me and said, Gada, shaking so that in my face, we will not but we didn't want that to see. We just have to do it. And I know, and the Lord will support him. She'll show the Prince. Let me go to Prince to just come and launch the book. I'll bring the microphone so I don't pay for my work. Hello? The all things you are doing. When you walk in, I don't know if you pay anything like that. One of the proprietors and founders of Ijebu Hospital, and that is to tell you what synergy can give. NLE, KUKU, Opiora. The three of them partnered together to form Ijebu Hospital. And here we have Dr. SONNY KUKU of OGBENI.
Prince, we have medicines, what is called hippocratic oath, in which the younger doctors look after their older doctors. And also the patients start looking after their doctor when they get to a certain age. The doctor looks after you too, and you are looking so good. You now have to, on my behalf, donate for both of us. I haven't done all this for you. You can't do this to your doctor. All the money you have paid me, you want me to cough it out now. Anyway, normally we say we leave the best to the last. But let me assure you that I have already done between 7 figures and some other figures. And I'm going to top it up. So all I'm going to do is top it up with something that will be very, very reasonable. Thank you.
Let me confirm that when he was reluctant, he didn't want me to come to you. He said, Oloroko OGBENI has been very supportive of the Lord. And when you say he's been supportive in an enterprise like this, it's nothing but money, money, money. Oloroko OGBENI, God bless you, sir.
Your Royal Highness, obviously. Yes. One day ago, was looking after me for so long time. We loaded with the stuff. Dr. KUKU. The guest speaker, chief doctor, the publisher, English minister, and gentlemen. Well, the chairman of this occasion asked, and I don't have too much to say, but because of the challenge he has given me, I will talk of the great historian, our Papa, late KUKU. We all know what happened prior and after independence. We thank God for your life and for what God is looking you to do. For the information of our audience, last month, Ijebu hosted the Synod of Ijebu Anglican Diocese. And we were able, and the chief launcher of the occasion was OGBENI, and he did justice for Ijebu-Land. Thank you, James. I've just got the receipt of the amount he gave to the diocese. I gave it to him this morning. As for me, I've always been supporting the author, and I will continue to support him. And therefore, I don't want to announce what I will give, but I don't want to discourage anybody. For your information, we raised over 50 million to the diocese in Ijebu last month. That was on my 88th birthday. I said, our great father, who was present, who also supported me at the Ijebu. So I have no option than to support this young man for all the efforts and what we're witnessing today. So I will definitely, I won't tell my people like show the number, whether it is the chairman, whether 8 figures or 10 figures, but I'm sure I can tell, Johnson can know that if I promise, I will always fulfill my promise. So I will give you some sure, a check that you'll be very, very happy with. Thank you very much.
All we have done together. What I even want to do, when the US used me, I must confess here that I wrote a report on Boko Haram. They didn't know the meaning of Boko Haram. I explained to them, and some colleagues there worked with me, and I got a report from them. But then I made a promise then that I would never discuss it with the Nigerian official. But I told them that Nigerian government may not do anything for 2-3 years when the report is submitted, and it was so. So I'm going to work with Wole and try to do something about that. Thank you.
The representative of this senator, the man is square. The student of Baba
family. Today, from that family, we have had an opportunity to hear from 3 of them. Professor Ashiru, Chief Dinko, Ashiru, and also now from Professor Mrs. Adenike Oshoba, near Ashiru. So, with due respect to our candidates, and standing on the existing protocol. To the best of my knowledge, Professor Adenike did a lot to ensure the success of this book. and I'm aware that the writer is also of that knowledge. So in terms of the financial support, the thing is in doing, and I know that she will continue to do that. I'm extending my happy congratulations to the author and compiler of this historical compendium and all those who made it a reality. That this epoch-making event is finally taking place today is through the grace of God and some well-named people. The idea that has crystallized today was floated over a decade ago when the author approached Mama. And according to her, she believes so much in the vision. However, due to some logistic reasons, mainly financial, he abandoned it a few years ago, but he is now resuming such. So he basically pursued it, but delayed many times because he focused more on the financial constraint, which actually made the project to the last minute. However, a few people encouraged him and that what he really required to complete the assignment was less of money, but more of goodwill. He now knows better. In any case, I applaud his silence. The project would have been abandoned, but for the massive support of the OGBENI of Ijebu, Chief Dr. SONNY KUKU, who is very much present here, OFR, and Odutola, who was Odutola, Baba Ijo of St. Paul African Church in Lese. On Congress behalf, that is the author, on behalf of the author, Professor Oshoba is thanking you all. Your children will never lack destiny helpers in Jesus' name. Let's say amen to that. I have read each of the 362-page compilation, well laid out and classy. It is a reservoir of information, very educative. I am now well informed myself. It has become the encyclopedia of dignitaries from the old Ijebu province. Suffice it to say that the list of 150 people, it is just the tip of the iceberg. I hope it will be encouraged to produce the next volume. Wishing you all happy deliberations. All from Iye, Otumba, Professor Mrs. Adenike, and Odutola. Thank you.
With that representation from all fields, from the royalty, to the chiefs, to Otumbas, to captains of industry. People there know most of the people are not here. I'm sure they're waiting to connect with you. So, thank you very much. And Mr. Wole Johnson done a very good job. Today is just the start. This book, by proper marketing, should get into every library, every household in Nigeria, particularly in the Southwest. And having said that, our host will be hostess. Our MC for today is a man of many parts. Today, you can see him playing the perfect host. And then, as the chairman of the KUKU government, modernity into administration of local government. And, of course, it's a person who tested politics. For the first time, almost. And yet he excelled in it. We are sure that this time is living for you. And for our young lady who read those citations, Yorubas call it Olowiyo. Very well done. Our book reviewer, thank you so much, Professor Boa. You really live to your name. And the MD of Adrian Homes, very well done. You set the pace today. And we are going to ensure that even those who are not here are captured between this magical figure of 7 and 8. Which has led to simple and repeating. For those of us who in Anglican Girls Grammar School at home, that's been between 1 million and 10 million. And we hope that this will be the beginning, because, like somebody said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. A volume 2 must follow sometime. So thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here, and God bless everyone.
Takes God to accomplish it. Because a lot of water has passed under the bridge. But here we are. And I know the risk I've taken traveling up and down in the midnight, particularly in mobilizing guests for this event. Unfortunately, the paucity of crowd is quite embarrassing. It's quite embarrassing. But I had expected that this hall would not contain people. Going by the magnitude of invitation cards that we distributed, well over 500 or 600. But look at the population here. That is an irony of what we attach to intellectualism. I remember when this hall was being inaugurated under the chairmanship of Dr. Omolayori, he said something, and please permit me before I go further. Let me recognize Dr. Omolayori. He will have loved to be here, but for age, he's about 96 years old now. He's one of the persons that I wrote before. Let me also acknowledge Justice Odutola, who retired at the Supreme Court. He also wrote before. Let me also acknowledge the Odu of Ijebu-Ode, Oba Engineer Elo Additional, that is rightly seated here. He also wrote a foreword to this book, and including Otuba Daniel. Then we also had comments from the Awutale himself and the Akari of Remo. So we have a lot of inputs in the book. So I will say something before I digress to that. I said when this hall was being inaugurated many years ago, under the chairmanship of Dr. Omolayori, he said something which was very instructive. He said, I hope this hall that was being opened today will not be used mainly for Owambe parties. Will not be used mainly for Owambe parties. But what is happening now? If it is Owambe parties that is only today, this hall will not contain people. So we add less value for intellectualism, and it's an irony of life. It's an irony. So let me go to my vote of thanks. After thanking the Almighty for the success of the day, I want to thank most especially our chairman of today, the Odutola Ijebu. He has stood behind me like the rock of Gibraltar. He has stood behind me in local parentheses. The same thing applies to Mama Professor Odutola. I remember my wife said something a while ago. He said, don't you have a mother any longer, but you have Professor Mrs. Odutola standing as your mother. Let us give a round of applause for Professor Odutola. She's a woman in a million. So the two of them, Professor Odutola and OGBENI, they are the pillars behind what we are experiencing today. They are the pillars. For the past 5 years, I've been giving them stress. And you can imagine somebody at over 80 in my phone, text messages, this and that, bye. And I want to give it to OGBENI that he was the person that involved the governor of Ogun State. I believe the governor, His Excellency, Prince Ijebu-Ode, that will not be there and it's not given and is not represented. I believe he will do something wonderful to promote this book across schools in Ogun State. Because this book quickly, apart from the benefits of state creation that I mentioned, there's still one other thing that's very important that we gain from the book. In this age of moral evidence and the federal government campaign against anti-corruption, we need prominent, well-accomplished people to serve as role model in order to reduce social vices and crime that is very prevalent in our society today. And that is one of those reasons why this book was written. So, in a nutshell, let me also say that, and this I want to go back to my kids and youth, because I have, with the glory of God, I've written not less than 20 books. 20 books on leadership, job creation, and value reorientation. And I'm doing this as a vocation because, with the glory of God, since I graduated in 1998, I have never earned a salary. Yes, I've never earned a salary. I've been living on creativity and research and entrepreneurship. Now, let me just run by saying a word to our children. And I want to give you this poem to round up. This is a poem. A setback in life is a crossroad, a chance to move in the right direction. To succeed, we must learn to fail. We must learn to be imperfect. Some of the challenges, obstacles, and hindrances that we encounter in life are positive signals that the river of our personality is seeking an open sea. That marvelous person we could become, and we be courage. It is on this note I say thank you to everyone. God bless you.
Kíjọba pẹ́ títí, kíjọba tù wá lára, kábíyèsí o, ọba wa onínúure, kábíyèsí o, kábíyèsí o. Aláyé Jàjì. We will take the second stanza of the national anthem as our closing prayer. Oh God of creation, direct and move us, guide our leaders right, and our youth and those who know, in love and majesty to grow and be just and true. May not be a time to be God bless you. God bless you. Wole, let me just sing this for you. I want to pray a line down.
This book is meant to, first and foremost, to dig into the archives and learn about what has happened in the past. Because the people we are celebrating today, the personality we are celebrating today, starting from the likes of Chief Obafemi Wole, they are role models that our youths could learn a lot from, particularly in this era of moral decadence. So we believe that if this book is well circulated in schools, public schools, private schools, our youths will learn more about how some individuals have impacted their communities, have impacted the state and Nigeria as a whole, even world at large, because we have international figures that have been celebrated today. Talking of the Nobel laureate, Professor Wole, talking of late Professor Adebayo Adedeji. So a lot of them, Ambassador Adeniji, many of them we cannot mention. Even those who are still alive, Professor Mrs. Adetoun Ogunsheye, the first woman professor in Nigeria, and she's still alive at about 96 or 98. So we believe that as the national anthem says, the labor of our heroes past must not be in vain. So we deem it fit to appreciate them, particularly those who are still alive, as we believe that living honor is more valuable than posthumous encomiums. So we feel that we should cherish what we have, because Ijebu has made a lot, has contributed a lot to national development. Talking of Professor Akima Bogunje, many of them. So we now feel that the younger generation, we deem it fit to recognize them, so that those who are coming behind, we will learn about them, how they have impacted the society, socially, morally, politically, and in all spheres of life. So we feel that it is high time we begin to cherish our own. So then besides that, the clamor for state creation is gathering momentum. And we believe that this is the time that we must get a state out of the old Ijebu province. Because of all the provinces in those era, it is only Ijebu state, it's only Ijebu that has not metamorphosed into a state. So we have other regions that have gotten their states, but it's only Ijebu. But we could have gotten it if not for political, I don't know how to put it, if not because there was no unity, and there was no unity of purpose then. So the same thing now, we don't want history to repeat itself. We want us to put sentiments and prejudices apart. You know, we had Professor Okua in his lecture clarifying that Remo is not distinct from Ijebu. Remo has its root in Ijebu. That's why they call it Ijebu-Remo. So to a large extent, both, and what we are doing today, we are going to history. Because, you know, originally, when we talk of old Ijebu province, we have Ijebu-Ode, we have Remo, we have Epe, we have Ikorodu, and Waterside. So those are the regions that constitute the old Ijebu province. So from those provinces, it is highly expedient and highly imperative that a state should be created in order to advance the cause of Ijebu people and bring development to the grassroots.
From your research,
yeah,
Did you think that an Ijebu state is sustainable?
Yeah.
But some states in Nigeria are not sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Do
very
you
good
think
one.
they are sustainable and they have the people to drive them?
In my own, as far as I'm concerned, Ijebu State is viable in the sense that we have the resources. Talking of human capital, part of the human capital is what we are celebrating today. And nothing drives development, more than human capacity development. It is, man should be at the center of development paradigms. So, talking of Wole Soyinka, is a resource person. He's an international figure. He's from Ijebu-Land. He calls himself Ijegba, that is partly Ijebu, partly Egba. Ijebu from Ishara, then Egba from Remo, from Abeokuta. So we have the resources. And besides those generations, even we are having upcoming generations that are making waves all over. That's Anthony. We have Anthony Joshua there, a lot of them. So that is on the economy front, we are viable in the sense that we have capital projects, capital infrastructure projects that dot the entire landscape of Ijebu-Land, provided we harness them, provided there's unity of purpose, provided we have, the creation of the state, provided it is all-inclusive. That is, bringing in the core Ijebu-Ode and others, alongside the Remo, alongside some other parts of Ijebu. So if we come together, we have a lot of resources, and one of them is the cargo airport. Now, the deep sea port is also there, and industries that can generate tax for the running of the government. So as far as there are some other states that are not as viable as we are, and yet they are still there. So if it is there, what resources do they have that is more than Ijebu? So it's just a matter of courage, a matter of looking inwards, generating ideas that can mobilize those resources so that they can be used to advance the cause of the people in the state.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.